everyone. My name is Vinayak Tiwari and I am one of the from the Indian grades. So my today's topic is neural networks. So let's see how it works and quickly go through the agenda. So first is introduction to neural networks, then neurons, how it works, activation functions, its applications and advantages and disadvantages. So as you all can see, this is the peak of the human brain. So let's see how the human brain works. So this is the peak of the working of the human brain. Most of the people think that how it is work. It looks like this. So it takes the simple input and the brain will process on it and give the output. But it's not that much simple that you think. So this is the picture how the brain looks like from the inside. So as you all can see the blue part, this is what the neuron is called. So let's see what the neuron is. So inside the human brain, there are 100 billions of neurons. In a mature human brain, there are approx 100 billions of neurons. These neurons will help the human to take the decision based on the various inputs that are inputted into the brain. So let's see what the artificial neural network is and whether it is connected with the human brain or not. So the neural network is consist of the two words. That is first is neural and second is network. Where the first neural means the neurons and the network means the connection between them. So the neural network is group of interconnected neurons. So and artificial neural network is inspired from the human brain, that how the human brain works. From that it is developed. It consists highly connected neurons which takes the input, process on it and give the output. So let's see the history of the neural networks. So in 1943, the neurophysiologist Warren McCulloch and mathematician Walter Pitts wrote a paper that how the neuron works. In 1959, Medellin named app was developed by the Bernard Vedro and American Hoff that eliminates the echoes on the phone line that generates on the call. And the first multi-layered networks was developed in the 1975. So let's see the working of the artificial neural networks, how it works. So generally it consists of the three parts. First is input layer, second hidden layer, and third output layer. Let's see how the structure of the neural network is. So this is the structure. As you all can see, the first is input layer, second hidden, and third output. These all are group of interconnected layers. So what's the input layer is? So it takes input from the outside world and data to process. It's assigned weight to them and it consists the every node consists of a activation function which processes the input data and pass it to the next layer. So the next layer is hidden layer. So it takes the output generated by the input layer and then process on it and give it to the next hidden layer if there are any, or it will else give it to the output layer. So the output layer generally consists the final output that are generated by all the hidden layers and give us the final output. It consists of the sigmoid function or the activation function. So what's the real activation function is, let's see. So an activation function decides whether a neuron should be activated or not. That means which neuron should be given importance or assigned more weight. It is dependent on the activation functions. So there are multiple types of activation functions that are used. The first is a linear activation function, a ReLU activation functions, sigmoid activation functions, and TAN activation function. These are the four main types. So let's see an example of the neural network working. So here you can see some digits on your screen. That is 9, 8, and 4. So as you can see, the 9 consists of one sphere and sorry, 9 consists of a one sphere and a line, where the 8 consists of the two sphere or circle. So how the neural network knows whether which digit is this? So it will break down into the species. So here the further part of the 9 digit. So first sphere will consist this much part, as you all can see, and the line will main contain the this part. So the neural so this is how the neural networks works. Suppose we have the 9-digit image, then the input will contain the 784 pixels. The hidden layer will consist the some sigmoid function which will work on it and then pass to it the next function, which will generate one sphere and one line. And then on the basis of that, it generates the output and pass to the next layer, that is output layer, which shows the output from 0 to 9, that whether which digit is this. So let's see the applications of the neural network where it is implemented. So there are many implementations, just like facial recognition, stock market prediction, signature verification and handwriting analysis, weather forecasting, aerospace, social media, and also fingerprint verification. So let's see the advantages and disadvantages of this. So advantages includes it involves human-like thinking, that it is developed from the human brain. So it involves human-like thinking. They can work with large number of data or variables. They have got the properties of continuous learning, means you do not have to reprogram every time when you enter the new data. So what are the disadvantages of the neural data? So they needs to operate the training at the first time whenever you generate a neural network implementation, and it requires the high processing time for the large neural networks where there are n numbers of nodes in there. So thank you all. This is what neural network is.